This first part of going live is always so funny. Here we go. Lisa. Guys, so today, hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? So
There we go. So my AirPods didn't connect. No problem. You may or may not hear my son Harvey in the background, but you've got Caroline.
yes, I have Caroline, my husband here, and yeah,
Good, good. Drama all over.
yeah,
Um, oh, so how are you? You're due next month. This is so crazy.
I am. I am due, and I'm having contractions right now too, actually. So I'm like,
Oh
my
my
husband are like, are you in labor? Like, what's the deal here? I'm like, I don't know. I gotta go do this Instagram live, and then we'll.
God. Wait, what's your official due date?
Not until October 22nd. So
Oh my
it's
God.
very like labor. I'm
Was
just like,
Caroline early or what was she?
we're not entirely sure. We never really knew her due
Okay,
date.
okay,
Um, but she was induced because she
okay.
was so big. But I
Yeah.
was like, this. And I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, for real. Let's
Yeah.
see, Harvey was like 8 pounds, 3 ounces at birth and like
hmm
22 inches long. And I'm like, ooh, if we have
20.
another 22, 22.
Oh my God. So good.
He's
Girl.
like a massive giraffe. Like, oh no. Guys, I want to introduce you, Lisa, to everybody. So she is the CEO and founder of Bumpin Blends. They are nutritional smoothie cubes for women. It's incredible. The stuff that they are doing is just like mind-blowingly awesome. And there's data behind it. So she is a registered dietitian. She knows what she's talking about. So obviously that's you, that's that. But this series is the When I Grew Up series. So like diving into some fun questions that you might not have gone in on other lives because you're very proactive. You're always on somebody else's live doing stuff. So I'm sure you're sick of talking about the same things.
No, I like that these questions are kind of different.
Yeah, it gets us thinking too because I feel like things are always changing and moving and everyone's pivoting right now. So talking through those decisions that you made and are making is just so helpful for people to listen in on. So main question is, what did you always want to be when you grew up? So this could be if you had like a 5-year-old dream or middle school, high school, whatever, but that like, what was that one main thing?
I always wanted to be a doctor, like very young age. I was like, I'm going to cure cancer and I'm going to be a brain surgeon. I just was really fascinated by the human body,
Okay.
science and research and like healing and helping people. And that carried through. I mean, I went to college, pre-med. I
Yeah.
was all through college, and it wasn't until I was in college and actively like interning and being volunteering at hospitals and getting into research and figuring out like really learning about what is on the front lines of research
Yeah.
medicine that I found nutrition
Okay.
and was like, oh, if I want to be on the cutting edge side of like actually healing people, nutrition is where it's at. And
Yeah.
so I stayed pre-med because I still had to be pre-med for getting my master's. Um, and I switched over all my concentrations from like neuroscience to nutrition.
Okay. What's major about that is in your original curriculum in those 4 years, how many nutrition classes did you have, if any?
College didn't offer a lot of nutrition.
Uh-huh. Right?
I think I took everything our school offered, and I think it was like two
Mhm.
tops.
And they were probably very dated. That's,
So dated and
yeah.
so thick, it was painful.
So when you finished college, you had what, one or two under your belt, and then you go into the next stage of your education. And were you able to dive in as deep as you wanted, or do you have to
Mm.
do a lot of outside?
Well, I did a master's in public health with a concentration in nutrition, and
Yeah.
then I did an RD coordinated program. So
Okay.
what that entails is like a very robust nutrition curriculum, and then additionally a year-long internship as a dietitian. So
Yeah.
you're called a dietetic. And so that like pretty much gives you when you're a dietitian, a registered dietitian, you have the gold standard of education when it comes to,
Mhm.
and so that's why it's tough. You have so many people who are like, oh yeah, I'm a nutrition expert or I majored in nutrition. It's like, well, you really scratched the surface of
Okay.
nutrition, which is a bit frustrating in my field. But yeah, with a master's degree, concentration in nutrition, and the dietitian schooling, like yeah, you really do dive quite deep. There's not a lot else you do outside of that in
That's awesome.
education. So I did.
As a side, yeah, keep going. And then I have a follow-up.
I pretty much did 2 years of like full-time, very advanced nutrition courses
Oh my
for
God,
my.
that sounds like a dream. So my follow-up question was that one, she is super like you buy these smoothie cubes and whatever other products that you're planning to launch, and you know that you're getting like the most that you can
Yeah,
possibly get because it's been tested, and so that is incredible. So just showing you've got the data behind the idea, which is so cool. But the other side of things is like, okay, how can you teach all of us moms who are struggling so hard to feed our children and not just going to like, okay, what's easy to cut up while he's like screaming at me for food while I'm actually trying to build the balanced meal. So that's a whole other thing. Maybe I create a series just with you.
that,
Get some sponsors and have you teach us moms how to like survive lunchtime, dinner time, any food time.
the best to moms is like, don't stress it. Your
Oh
kid,
my God.
it's okay if they eat mac and cheese now and then. It's okay if, and like teaching your kid to listen to their own hunger cues
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to like understand that is so much more valuable than getting nutrition in them. Like if
Yeah.
they're hungry, they will eat. And
Yeah.
I think so many moms feel like they need to be like shoving food down their kid's throat at certain
Yeah.
times of day, and then it's just like stressful. And then the kid associates eating with stress, and the
Yeah.
mom's meal times with stress. And it's just like, trust me, if your kid is hungry, they will come
Feed
to
them.
you for food. Like, I think that like in terms of a balanced plate, I think more of like a balanced day. Uh,
Ooh,
Not every meal is going to be balanced with a toddler. Like you can make it as balanced as you want. You can put everything on that plate. They're not going to eat it.
it's so true.
Uh, it's just about giving them options and letting them explore. It's not the end of the world if your kid goes a day without eating vegetables. It's really not.
Honestly, I think you just changed my whole life with those few sentences. It's almost like I know it, and people tell me that, but hearing it from someone outside of my usual sphere of influence, I'm just like, oh, okay, yes, thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
do your best, but like, your kid is. My daughter this morning, I put out like a chia pudding,
Yeah,
strawberries, and a fig bar for her to eat
okay.
just running out the door. Like, she took one bite of the fig bar and then asked for Fruit Loops, which, like, if you know what Fruit Loops are, okay, fine, I have something to do with that. I am pregnant. And so,
Yeah.
but it's like, okay, so she had a bite of a fig bar and two Fruit Loops.
Yeah,
And that's
great.
great.
And you're not stressed because she knows what she needs when, and you know that overall there's a balance.
Exactly. And if I were like shoving strawberries down her throat, then she'd have a super negative
Yeah.
reaction with eating strawberries or feel like there's some kind of like punishment she has to go through to get to the Fruit Loops or something. So
Yeah.
I'd rather just eat Fruit Loops.
That is major. So, okay, I want to talk through Bumpin Blends. You've been in that for now, what is it, a year and a half that
Mm-hmm.
you've been running it? So, obviously, major, you've got a baby coming up and all things to do with that. So, the energy is like, cut and all of things, but you're still pushing so hard and doing so well with it. What's like a big project or something that you're working on with Bumpin Blends that we can support you on? And yeah, what's on the forefront? Can you give us any sneak peeks?
What's not on the forefront? We have our
Right?
launching in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Um, and so that's major. We have new packaging coming in about a month.
That's amazing.
Um, so the new packaging is finally like really in production versus like in testing and
Okay.
beta of that. So it's actually like, being produced at mass scales,
Yeah.
which is so exciting and so scary and stressful, but it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see like what's going to come first, my baby or my new packaging? I've been working on both for about 9 months, and I'm like, which one is going to arrive? But our new packaging, our fall flavors, which are just fun and like
Mhm.
they're ready to go. It's just a matter of like technical development stuff that needs to happen
Yeah.
for officially launch. Uh,
Mhm.
and then tons of other stuff.
Yeah. On the technical side, for people that are in the same sphere of like business as you, are you having issues with just the normal issues that you would have when you're producing a product, or have you seen it like so much worse during this year and all the things that will go unnamed that have happened? Is it like, have you seen a difference, or is it just usual problems?
Yeah, we've had a lot of issues because of this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes. Um, so many issues. Like everything is impacted by the pandemic and by the events of this year. And it's just been at every turn. I don't think that the average person who doesn't run like a product-based business realizes how impacted businesses are.
Yeah.
Everything from I at the beginning of COVID, my entire staff were stay-at-home moms. That was kind of like our shtick. I hired stay-at-home moms because I was like, these are women who are, oh my gosh, we can put a filter on ourselves
Yeah,
and
do you not see this? Come on. Yeah.
and that's what I look like.
It's
All
just like
right,
a nice,
I'm gonna
airbrush.
the facade is gone. So anyway, at the beginning of COVID, my entire staff was stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
And so in one day when they closed LAUSD, my staff was gone.
Yeah.
Nobody making smoothies or packaging and
Mhm.
no end in sight for when that would happen. And I thought it
Yeah.
would be like 2 weeks. So I was like, okay, not only did I also lose my childcare,
Hmm.
but I just have to find a solution for 2 weeks. So I got my cousin and my neighbor,
Yes.
myself, and I would bring my daughter to the kitchen and like post her up with Mickey Mouse for a couple hours and like
Mhm.
blend smoothies myself
Yeah.
in my first trimester.
Oh my gosh, when you have no energy.
And don't worry, nowhere near the smoothies did I throw up. You know, it was very stressful.
Yeah.
And then once it was like, okay, this is gonna be longer than 2 weeks, I hired a staff.
Yeah.
But that came with its own challenges because everyone was kind of in flux. And so I had a
Mhm.
huge problem with turnover and training and like, how do I train people to be excited about this role and to do it when like people's jobs in life are changing so quickly?
Mhm.
Nobody has support, nobody has childcare, nobody has this. So it's like, how do I
Mhm.
help people? And I actually found like out of work actors, college
Yeah.
kids taking classes online, like, and I got everybody trained and everyone like it
Yes.
was like I was hiring a new person every day. It was really stressful.
Yeah.
And it's still stress like I'm still kind of finishing that and heading toward like now my staff is more full-time, like
Yeah.
they work here. Um supply chains were huge for us. Like
Yeah.
we went from being able to get our packaging in a matter of like a week or two
Okay.
to 8 to 12 weeks.
Are
And
you overseas right now, your supply chain?
um not not all of it.
So
Some of
some is like in LA?
not a lot of it's in LA, but we get our dissolvable. We have these amazing coolers that dissolve in
Yes.
love, um, that I love, and we get them from a company in Michigan.
Awesome.
Typically, it's like I'll text him or email him and be like, "Hey, I need 10,000 more coolers," and he's like, "Great, they'll be there in 10 days."
That's awesome.
But I went to go do that. We had an influx of orders. He was like, "It'll be 12." Oh, but what do I do? I don't have like, and so it's like we had the issue of we don't have boxes.
Yeah.
We don't have coolers. And then it was like, we don't have that. And then the staff being trained didn't really like understand how we do inventory and stuff. And so it was like, I was literally like running to Costco for bananas.
Yes.
And so a lot of issues like that came up.
So what kept you, and this is totally off, what I prepped you for, but like what kept you going during when everything is literally falling apart? Like what is your inspo? What kept you like flying? Because I know you're not the only one that's dealing with all of that, whether it is a product or service that we have for our companies. Give us your like glimmer of hope.
Um, that's a really good question. I think that it's very, very easy, even if things are going well.
Hmm.
Um, no matter the world scenario or whatever's going on, it is very easy to give up on a startup. It's
Yeah.
very easy to, it is like so easy to give up. If I told my husband in 10 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, if I told my husband, you know, bumping is really hard and stressful and this
Yeah.
kid is coming and I just really want to be a stay-at-home mom. Can we just nix this whole thing and like shut it down?
Yeah.
He would be really understanding and
Yeah.
like you know,
Yeah.
it's so easy. All I have to do is say the word and it's like poof, and like all my stressors in life are gone and I can
Hmm.
relax.
Hmm.
Um, it's so easy to do that no matter what. And so when it's
Hmm.
harder, when there are challenges, that's even more appealing.
Hmm.
And I think that being able to like recognize that and be okay with that and be like, you know what, yeah, like that was really easy, but that's not why I
Yeah.
did it. And um, when all of this started, I actually saw like a few of our competitors and a few companies that we were kind of like, you know, keeping an eye on and things like that fell by the wayside and they closed up.
Yeah.
And a lot of new companies we kind of saw like just kind of falter. And um, luckily for Bumpin, we had a lot of growth this
Hmm.
year too. And we had a lot of really inspiring influencers and people who believed in us, who kept us going and kind of, you know, they kept us going. And then we had customers who were emailing us that were like, thank God for your smoothies because now I
Hmm.
go to the grocery store and
Hmm.
find and like getting those stories back from customers who were like, your smoothies have made this pandemic, quarantine, whatever we're in, doable.
Hmm.
That was really inspiring and
Yeah.
really kept us going. And I was like, look, if they're counting on me, I can I can bring my daughter to the kitchen and we can blend. Like
Yeah.
we can do that. Um, and even though it was really hard, it never got to the point where I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like I'm terrified to do this, but I can't.
That is a great delineation too, because honestly, I think I quit twice a day. Like, and this me being a photographer and a founder and all those things, I think I quit twice a day for sure. Like halfway through the morning when I've seen my email inbox and the things that I have to do, and then like an hour after my son's gone to bed because I'm actually starting to get some work done and seeing how far behind I am on things. So if you're waiting for an email from me, hey. Um, but talking to you and hearing that it's not just me and it's not just moms in general, it's everybody in general that is running a company, a startup. They're trying to do something that's a little against the grain and they have a major mission with, you know, like you said, so many staffing, supply, all those things. It's just helpful to hear you say it. And I'm sure for everybody else watching too, it's the same thing. But having people community like this and saying those out loud, I hope will help. So it's not that you can't do it, it's that you're scared to do it. And
And
it's, yeah,
if you weren't having those feelings, you're probably not doing it right. Like
yeah,
if you
it's so true.
are a CEO or a founder or you're running anything on your own and you're not absolutely terrified,
Yeah.
or you're not wanting to quit and you're not like thinking like, what would I do if I just shut all this down?
Oh,
Like if you're not daydreaming about that, you're probably not right. Like you need to work harder if you're not there yet.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I start my work day when my daughter goes down to sleep. Like
Yeah.
9 p.m. is like Monday. It's 9 a.m. for me.
Oh, yeah.
And it's my most productive time and all of that. And so it's like who the heck is sitting there working at like 11 p.m. and is like,
Me.
this is great. There's nothing stressful about this. Like I'm
Mhm.
terrified.
Yeah.
So it's everybody's feeling that way, and that's kind of what I think distinguishes like a successful entrepreneur. It's not that they're smarter, it's not that they're better, it's not that they're harder work. It's just that they didn't give up
Yeah.
when it was easy to give up.
Yeah. And what is it? Something I always repeat to myself, and it's such a botched quote, and I don't know where I got it, but it's like, if you gave up after blank a certain amount of time, you don't even give yourself a chance. Like, you have to stick with it every day for many years, and it's never that overnight success. And I just like run through those things in my mind when Harvey is, having a moment and he slept 1 hour that day and I have 7 hours of work to do and I don't want to stay up till 3 a.m. I don't know how you're going to do this with 2 kids. Maybe we need like a nanny share.
Yeah.
Or like a wine night. But okay, so getting back to closing up, what are some resources or tips or tricks or apps or anything that's inspiring you and making it easier to do what you do, or just anything interesting you found this week, this month, this year that I can share?
It's a really great question.
I know.
Um,
You've already given so much, so.
A lot of inspiration in other female founders who are much more successful than I am. Like
Yeah.
following people like Jacqueline Johnson or Amy Nelson or any other like incredible female founder who has taken something and run with it and made it a success.
Mm-hmm.
I always find a ton of inspiration in them, even if it's just like watching their personal Instagram and like looking at their life and being like, yeah, I would like to be at that point. Like,
yes, I agree.
and I think a lot of them also, like, I think Amy Nelson's a great example of this. She is so real about like how intense and how stressful it can be and how just like her lifestyle. And it's kind of like I like that not sugarcoating intensity of keep going. It reminds you that you're not alone. I think that often like a lot of female founders and entrepreneurs feel like they have to be this like put together perfect, idol of a person for other people, especially if they have an online presence.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not always like it can be inspiring, but it's also nice to see that like that's not real a lot of the time, or maybe for 15 years before it became real life.
Yeah.
So that's really inspiring.
Yeah.
And then just like connecting with the people who you're impacting is huge for me. Like seeing our reviews or having a DM come in from a customer or somebody personally email me, like all of this, that is what keeps me going. And it's like my favorite part of the job.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's huge. I'm just feeling so much more at peace in general from this. You are so wise and you're crushing it, and I just can't wait to see what you guys do next. And I'm not even joking about creating a series just with you. I don't know how I'm going to bribe you into this, but nutrition for moms and all of that stuff. Maybe I get you to do some blog posts or something. I'm going to come at a pitch with you.
Have been a blogger and quit and gave up because it was too hard and too much work. And
I'll ghostwrite for you.
and yeah, so I actually get that question a lot, and which makes me think like, why did I give up on that? Like, cause
maybe it's a video series. Maybe it's not actually writing. Like you just jump on.
I think that was more the thing. I realized like I actually really don't like blogging. I just be a blogger because people said that I should be a blogger, and oh, okay, but I really don't like taking photos, writing. So I don't know that it was for me.
That's the thing. It's like, is blogging still relevant? Is it just for SEO now? And then is everything video? And if so, what if you don't like video or have the time? Anyway, that's a whole other topic. But
whole thing, yes.
Lisa, this was awesome. I am just so excited. Minutes social media time limit on my phone. I'm like super strict about it, and it like paused the entire thing. Anyways, I need to get off social media, I guess.
Just keeping you accountable.
Yeah. Thanks so much. I can't wait to keep having you on.
Thank you for having me.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.